It is taking less and less and less power and fire from the hedges, from the short sellers to actually have that much impact pushing this price down. I mean, it could also be that these guys are really trying to stay on the sidelines and trying to hide stuff that we've been already discovered, especially when you get to leaked documents like we had on this article today from the global coverage. Citadel CEO lied on the oath and prison ahead of him. Here is the leaked proof. Well, let's get into the details of what exactly is happening here. When Robinhood and Citadel were called in front of the House committee back in February, Citadel CEO was asked by a US representative Juan Vargas on their oath, keep that in mind, on the oath, whether he had any collusion with Robinhood CEO, to which he replied straight with a face almost like a laser. Let me be perfectly clear. Absolutely not. And it's clear. I mean, I'm gonna play this a little bit for you guys, and you're gonna hear exactly what the U.S. representative asked to Mr. Griffin.
Collusion. The big guys, all of you guys, were figuring out how to do this and ultimately come out ahead as you always do. But did you talk to them about restricting or doing anything to prevent people from buying, not selling, but buying in GameStop?
Let me be.
Anybody in your organization?
Be perfectly clear. Absolutely not.
So if we depose everyone in your organization, we will find that.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, I don't know if you caught it. I don't know if you caught it. Not only, it was clearly asked, did you or anybody in your company, organization, talk with Robinhood in order to collude and get away, like you always tend to do, by preventing people from buying these stocks? And he said, let me be perfectly clear. Absolutely not. And the representative insists, all right? He does insist. If we ask to anybody in your organization, if we do some investigation, will that be what we find out? And he said, yes, that's correct. And now we have these leaked documents, these leaked emails going back and forth between people from Robinhood and Citadel, suggesting that on January 27 of 2021, well, the eve of the button being removed and the whole saga starting on AMC and GameStop, well, there was some email exchanged between Robinhood and Citadel. Along the lines of trying to see, hey, we reach out. We're having a meeting today with John at 5 p.m. on a call with Citadel. They reach out and want to speak this evening, and we believe they will make some demands on limiting payment for order flow across the board. We won't agree to anything, but wanted to give you a heads up. We're going to come back to this because this is really important. Maybe this will be a good time for me to chat with Ken Griffith. You guys can mention that. Well, anecdotal evidence that several very large firms are having really bad nights too. So these guys knew, and we covered this multiple months ago, that the NSCC was going to require them to increase the limits based on liquidity requirements around multiple billions of dollars, and they didn't have that money on hand, and because of that, it was on their advantage to have this button removed. And on the same case, but for Citadel this time, it was gonna be advantageous for them because they said they wanted to remove payment for order flow. Keep in mind, Citadel gets a lot of orders flowing into their systems based on this whole payment for order flow, and that's how companies like Robinhood are also getting a lot of money. The fact that they don't want these to be removed is because there's going to be a significant reduction and decrease into the revenues, so it makes sense for them not to want this to be removed. But on the other side, for Citadel, it makes total sense because this exact very same day, all right, January 27, they were prepping to short heavily these stocks, because it does make sense, right? If they knew already that these stocks were being heavily bought, and if people didn't have the chance to buy them anymore, the price will tank. So they can play on that, they can bet on that by having lots of put options volume bet on these stocks, and hence sending the price even further down. That's why we saw the price of AMC, for example, going from 25 intraday, closing around 20 that day, back all the way down to $5 a share. So the very takeaway on this thing, guys, is Ken Griffin, Citadel CEO, may be in big trouble, because if he did lie based on the accuracy of these documents being leaked and unleashed, well, it means perjury, and perjury is illegal. So it means you can be facing jail time if you are actually caught perjuring yourself. Now, the big question is, do you think he will be actually even charged with this thing? It's very difficult to know. It's very difficult to say, because he's a guy with big pockets and totally a big, well-connected network. So this might even just, slide under the radar. But with what the SEC is actually doing behind the scenes and all the work, all the investigation that already started, this might trigger something to boost what exactly these guys at the SEC and Gary Gensler are actually doing. But this is something we have to definitely keep, a close eye on. And maybe on the next videos today, or maybe as we get some developments, we're going to definitely make sure we keep this on the radar. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this whole discovery, and how do you think this can be the next step for the short squeeze in AMC.